Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to an excited Wrestling Days because this week on Raw we are going to hear from Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins explains all. He's going to explain why he did what he did last week. Of course, we're referring to the Firefly Fun House fire, which has upset a lot of people. And so, yeah, I can't wait. I think this is going to be really interesting. Thankfully, we're not going to have to wait till Raw because Seth has tweeted out his thoughts on this. We've had a real insight into his mental state at the moment. So we can kind of piece a few things together and we'll know kind of in advance of what he's going to say. So I'm very much looking forward to this video because there are some really interesting things for us to talk about. The first one is the first tweet that Seth sent. You can see it on screen, basically saying, you know, what choice did I have? And I really like this tweet because it kind of implies that he wasn't in control. It kind of implies that there was no other option when that just simply wasn't true. Like, he didn't have to burn down the funhouse. Like, the puppets are actually fans of Seth. All of the puppets were concerned for Seth before Hell in a Cell. So they were fans. They were part of his fan group. So there was no need for him to burn the funhouse down. So very interesting that he feels like there was no other choice. It's very interesting how it kind of suggests he wasn't in control of his actions. Maybe his darkness was in control. And we said in the previous theory video, the way he said burn it down was very similar to how the Fiend would say let me in. So could be a little bit of something there, but certainly no remorse from Seth Rollins. He's taking responsibility here. He's not claiming that he didn't remember or wasn't in control. You know, he's not saying any of that. It's kind of implied he might not be in control, but yeah, he has come out and accepted responsibility. And I think this is very interesting because I understand him attacking Funhouse Bray. I don't get the fire. I don't understand why he's burning the Funhouse down, because it's Funhouse Bray that becomes the Fiend, or at least we believe becomes the Fiend. There's theories out there that the Fiend and Funhouse Bray could be two separate people. I don't subscribe to that. We know the Fiend is Bray's darkness, so if you take out Bray, you take out the Fiend. But that might not be true. This is where things can get very, very interesting, because I think the Fiend is in all of us. I think the Fiend is just everyone's darkness. So Bray has got darkness, has got dark thoughts, and, you know, has got a heel side to him. And he calls that the Fiend. But we've all got that. We've all got right and wrong within us. We've all got an angel and a demon. It's just, do you choose to listen to the angel more than the demon, or do you listen to the demon more? So we've all got our own darkness. We don't call it the Fiend, but you could if you wanted to. When you go and do something bad, is that your Fiend controlling you? Is that your darkness consuming you? And this is really interesting because by Seth destroying the Funhouse, by him taking out Funhouse Bray, he hasn't destroyed the Fiend. He's made it worse. He's made it worse. He has unleashed the Fiend around the world. I think all of us were angry at the end of Raw towards Seth because he'd just burnt and destroyed one of our favourite things about the show. So what he's actually done there isn't destroy the Fiend, contain the Fiend, control the Fiend. He's unleashed the Fiend in all of us, and that will be reflected in the boos that will certainly greet him when he walks out and explains all in that arena. He will see everyone's darkness coming out. He will see the hatred in the crowd. He will hear the boos raining down on him, and that is all down to him unleashing the Fiend. The Funhouse Fire, Funhouse Bray, became a martyr. And this is really interesting because just a few hours ago, Bray Wyatt tweeted this. People are constantly trying to burn everything around me. It leads me to ponder what truly makes a villain, a hero. Maybe everyone is bad deep down. Maybe revenge makes you a martyr. Fight fire with gasoline. Let's burn, baby. The truth here is if Seth wants to get rid of the Fiend, he might have to get rid of humanity. He might even have to destroy himself, and obviously he's not going to be able to achieve all of that, so he will never destroy the Fiend. He can destroy Bray Wyatt and his darkness, but we've all got that darkness in us, and I do really like this concept. So yeah, I kind of takes us back to Seth saying, what choice did he have? Well, he did have a choice. He didn't have to go that far, and actually now he's made things worse. So we know that Funhouse Bray has survived that fire because, of course, he's been tweeting out. We also know there's a match that's coming up, so he's got to have survived because it's his body that the Fiend uses. It's his body that the darkness consumes. So we know he's survived the fire. There was even a secret Funhouse episode on SmackDown. It basically just set up and teased an attack for the dark match later that night. It was never shown on TV. And of course the Fiend would strike during that dark match. He would go after Cesaro and take out Cesaro in the dark match from SmackDown. So we know that the Funhouse has sort of survived. We didn't really see a great deal. We just know that Bray has survived and he was still doing a promo backstage in what looked to be a Funhouse. Now, we could see the Funhouse. We could see the Funhouse and it could be absolutely fine. We know nothing can die in the Funhouse. We've seen Ramblin' Rabbit die and come back again. So there's every chance the Funhouse is as it was, like completely unharmed, comes back, everything is absolutely fine. Could also be, though, that the Funhouse has been destroyed and that it's been burnt to a cinder. The puppets are gone. It could be either of those, so it's really hard to know which way forward they're going to go with this. I don't expect the Funhouse to stay on Raw. The rumours are that SmackDown don't want it, so this really could end. This really could end, but I'm expecting the Funhouse, or some version of it, even if it's burnt to a crisp, to feature on Raw this week. It'd be weird just having Funhouse Bray backstage talking to Charlie Caruso. I can't even imagine that. So fully expect there to be a Funhouse, but I just don't know if it's going to be good news in regards to the long-term prospects of it, and certainly the puppets if they're still around. I would love it if they were still around, and I would love it if they were no longer fans of Seth Rollins, basically reflecting the WWE universe. Like, all the WWE universe used to be fans of Seth. Not so much anymore. I'm sure there's hardcore fans of Seth out there still, but the majority of fans now, I think, will turn on him. The rumours are they're not looking to make Seth a heel anytime soon, but of course, if the plan was to turn him heel, they would say that as well. So I wouldn't read a great deal into that, but it's very interesting, and we got a second message from Seth saying this. This was in reply to Funhouse Bray, who basically was on Twitter saying that he forgave Seth. Seth came back and said, "You led me there, down a road I never thought I would walk. I don't want your forgiveness. I want your vengeance." So again, Seth feels like he had no choice. I've explained why he did, and I've explained why he's actually now made it worse. Funhouse Bray being a martyr, the Funhouse being a martyr, and now the Fiend being unleashed in all of us. So a real big moment last week. And here he's trying to talk to the Fiend, to Bray Wyatt's Fiend. He's saying to Funhouse, Bray, I don't want your forgiveness. I want the Fiend's vengeance. This is all to build towards that match at Crown Jewel, which they are just trying to make bigger and bigger. I mean, the fact they came out and said that that match couldn't be stopped for any reason, they really want to get the message out there that this match is huge. There will be a decisive winner. There will be a pinfall or submission. Does Seth get it? Does the Fiend get it? Or does someone interfere? I fear it could be that. I fear that someone could interfere. And so the Fiend won't become champion. Seth will retain. He can then get out of this without fully turning heel. The Fiend can focus on other things. I really don't want that. I really do want the Fiend to be champion, but what with him being drafted to SmackDown and this being a Raw championship, I really do feel like someone's going to get involved and cost the Fiend the title. That person, the Undertaker. I'm going that way. I know I've said this before, but I'm saying the Undertaker because WWE have been very vocal, very clear about the fact the Undertaker won't be at Crown Jewel. And actually, there's been a kind of Twitter movement online from the Saudi fans. They want the Undertaker there. They are making their voices very, very loud indeed. There was a whole hashtag saying that they wanted the Undertaker to be at that event. I think he will be. I think he'll be a surprise. And I think he attacks the Fiend. So there we go then, guys. Don't expect any remorse. Don't expect a heel turn. Don't expect any kind of explanation as to how he got to the Funhouse. I think they're still going to keep all of that a mystery, all of that a secret. There's enough to talk about here rather than those little details as to how he got there, because obviously we still don't know where the Funhouse is or what the Funhouse is, but the fact that he is acknowledging that he was there kind of does heavily imply it was a physical place. So I'm leaning more towards that now, the fact that it is a physical place. But we're going to have to wait and see. I'm not expecting answers on that. I'm certainly not expecting remorse. I am expecting more build towards Crown Jewel. Awesome, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. And hopefully, I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.